Welcome back. Un momento, por favor. Hey y'all, in today's video, we're gonna discuss hi Monica Jenkins, hola, como estás? In today's video, we are discussing, I put 2000 in front of it, but shower routine tips. So let me find out what we shall discuss and what shower routines I'm finna give y'all today. I'll be back. And I ain't far away. You can see the phone shifting, camera shifting. I'm back. Bingo. There we go. I was looking for this in another video. Well, we found it today. Hopefully. So I got to edit this out. Miss Saint Square. Howdy, how do you do? Blessings to you as well. We'll just have to edit that out at this mark. There we go. We'll just make a note of everything. So it says 2000. We're discussing shower routine tips. This is the OG version, at least by the branding, what it is, because it's been reformulated ever since. And we need to have a conversation about that in a little bit. But today we're discussing shower routine tips. So we're going to start off, head off everything here today. We spend time together about feminine hygiene. This is Summer's Eve Lavender Nighttime Cleansing Wash. I'm glad I keep these, even though I recycle these in my empties videos. And I believe they removed, they removed the dyes from this. This used to be, if I remember correctly, even a almost stark purple color for this feminine hygiene wash. And I need to discuss this about feminine hygiene. For the summer primarily, you do not want to be able to smell anything. You just don't. If you don't like, primarily the shade for Summer's Eve, primarily the shade for feminine washes that are scented across all brands. I've not tried them all. I'm not saying you should or you should not. Here's the thing. And I'm saying this, and I'm not going to say, of course, I can't remember the username who left the comment. I done blocked them. And they left a comment about, well, first things first, because I'm a person where, on this channel, if you're familiar, I don't know everything. I know a hefty amount, and that's by the grace of God. That credit always goes to him. Point blank in the period. But I always have loved learning stuff, even though it seems like I have learned not necessarily all of it, but maybe a hefty, substantial amount. I still like to learn. So please help me to understand. I asked this removed of all shade, so this is not being asked offensively. Genuinely speaking, I'm gonna get close so you can see. What is the thing with primarily with washing with washing your lady parts? When you look me, come on. A genuine question. Why is it, oh, just use water? No, ma'am. Because first things first, if you're menstruating, you're on your period, you have your cycle, you still in that stage of your life as a woman. No, ma'am. Water alone shall not cut it at all. Just for that reason alone, we're not even talking about outside of the period in which, and I think that's typically 28 days. I think they still teach that in schools for education and teaching the young ladies there about their female anatomy and their reproductive organs, so forth, internally and externally. 28-day cycle. So between the time that after your period, run up to your beginning of your next one, I'm not even talking about that natural discharge that occurs. So I always get into these topics about feminine hygiene, and then I forget to give y'all the disclaimer. Here's your disclaimer. If you're squeamish, because I've started recently using medical terminology instead of slang, because I grew up hearing slang. That's normally how it happened. If you went to public school, even if you went to private school, when you get out in the real world, eventually you're going to, and I don't want to say for lack of a better word, pick that up, but you're going to uncomfortably hear slang being used, referred to as men and women's genitalia parts and stuff, primarily women. Very crash. Very, very crash. And I don't like it. So I prefer to use the medical terminology. Okay? People be thinking, oh, that's weird. Well, what else did you call it before y'all developed slang? I mean, it is quite interesting. If you look up the history of cuss words, which I do not use on this channel, you'll be surprised the origin of things, which is why I heavily encourage y'all to do research about body care, feminine hygiene, the lotions, even the brand itself, because you'll be surprised what you will find, even right down to the ingredients, the packaging. I'm very big on research. So let's come back to on topic right now for at least this particular section of shower routine tips, your feminine hygiene. Please help me understand, why is it just water only? Water and soap, water and unscented soap. I am more favorable of maybe original Dove original bar soap, lather it up with a separate, there's a reason why I'm saying separate, I'm about to explain, a separate washcloth for that area that's very ever so delicate, and wash yourself with that even for your period, especially if you're against feminine washes. I'm all for feminine washes, scented and unscented. It just depends on, one, have you done a patch test? Most of the time on the bottles, I don't know if they still post the warnings on things that aren't like hair depilatory creams, aka also known as hair remover creams like Veet and Nair. You ever heard of those? They encourage you to patch test. So just like they encourage that, I encourage that. And I'm not a dermatologist or a medical professional, but I speak from experience. Do a patch test, especially if it's something new, or if you see that it's been rebranded, because it don't look like this no more. Now, maybe there's still some circulating that people are selling, resellers, stuff like that from retailers, and maybe they're trying to get rid of it. You might still catch some of the older brand, the vintage. Same thing about Bath and Body Works. They rebrand and allegedly reformulate things all of the time. So you'll get one from 2021 and go buy it again. It's like, why it don't look the same? They do that on the regular. I don't know why. Has a lot to do with a lot of different factors. Patch test for feminine hygiene, whether it's the feminine wash. They also have a bar for this, if you could still find it. I believe they discontinued the bar to this. And I never understood for the life of me why for the nighttime cleansing wash for summer's eve. I'm using this to make a point about feminine hygiene products in general. Never understood why they didn't make a nighttime spray. We want to spray it on at night too. It's formulated for night, but I use it any time of the day. Yeah, good stuff. And it's the best smelling lavender I've ever smelled across all body care, body oils, body washes. I've tried body washes that don't smell this good as this feminine wash that's designed for one area, as opposed to body wash that's lavender made for all of you. Now that's saying something. I would suggest a mildly scented feminine hygiene wash for your lady parts, if you're opposed to the scented feminine washes or just feminine washes in general. Because now I have looked and they have two that are rather mildly scented of Summer's Eve, and across different brands of Vagisil, FDS, Honey Pot, and all the others they have out there. Always, I believe, has branched out where they have a feminine wash they have a fragrance-free line up alongside all their other stuff. They just package it alongside Summer's Eve, FDS, and Vagisil. I'm like, okay. And this stark royal blue, navy blue packaging. and they have matching fragrance-free wipes to go with it. So it's really no excuse, at least now, because they have fragrance-free. Then they have a mildly scented pH balance. That's at least the two I saw for the Summer's Eve. But whatever you do, water cannot be the only thing you wash your lady and your pocketbook and your flower with. Okay? It just cannot be that. That's why soap was invented, because I just can't imagine. Hello, Shay Shay. Hope you are doing well and everything's going well with your health. We are discussing, I put 2000 in front of it, shower routine tips. And right now we're on feminine hygiene, talking about these washes. And I had a comment that was just like, you're pushing the ideal of, let's not use it. Look, madam. You're going to have to wash with some type of soap, even if it's not scented. I have smelled and I know this might feel like it's weird of a description, what I'm about to say. I have used some of the most mildly considered fragrance-free soaps. And it had the prettiest smell to it. It's like, even the person with the most sensitive of sinuses and nasal cavities, this should be able to stand this. Like, this feels like they wouldn't be bothered by it. The type of products I have tried over the past 10 plus years. And so I just can't imagine. Now, here's where I was going a moment ago. I bought a feminine wash at the Dollar Tree. See, there's a lot of mild feminine washes going on. And it's like, you keep having people campaigning, hey, soap and water only. No, ma'am. For the simple fact, I'm going to run with the argument. Sorry, I'm going to run with the debate on this one. That you need to wash with soap simply because of your whole menstrual cycle. And then all the time. Before, during, and after. I've had people tell me that in my comments, and see, the thing is, I've had a video on emotional intelligence a few short weeks ago. When I understand, and I went over in my 35th, 5 things before I literally turned 35. One of the things I learned in emotional intelligence is just simply when you realize that you can evaluate a person's emotions, and you can evaluate them to a point where it's like, okay, they're saying that because maybe they were traumatized, or maybe they're succumbing to peer pressure. And so they want to throw this narrative out there because maybe they've been either fear-mongered from the news, or they've not done their research, or combination of both. I believe it's soap. Soap and water. It ain't got to be scented, but it's got to be soap. And so I am just very thankful for the emotional intelligence that God's developed in me to be able to be like, okay, I can't really get offended you saying that, because knowing what I know that's not the truth. You go out there if you want to, especially with summer, and this not me being funny. Now look at me now. Listen to the inflection and tone of my voice. You go out there if you want to, sister girl, sister soldier. You go out there if you want to, just doing soap and water, or just water. Before, during, and after your period. Or you in the middle of that 28-day cycle where it's just not yet about to come on, but you're about 3 to 4 days from it. You go out there if you want to with that heat and that sundress, or them high-waisted jeans and that t-shirt, or that crop top. You go out there if you want to. I'm saying this with all the love of God that I have in my heart, and with all the concern. You go out there if you want to. You take that risk. I don't advise it. Use soap and water. If you are too afraid of an allergic reaction, fear of peer pressure, you're not yet at that level at which people can suggest things to you, and then you feel like their word is a law. you don't welcome research. One of the things I've learned is before you come into agreement with somebody about how you should run your life, especially something so personal and intimate, such as taking care of your delicate feminine parts, you need to evaluate the suggestion that they're making. And then me saying that you need to evaluate their suggestion, this is still a suggestion that I'm giving y'all. It's not a requirement. I just heavily suggest that across the whole channel, even if I'm not talking about sensitive subjects like this. Evaluate the suggestion they're giving you. Then you go and do research. Is doing research fun? No. Is it worth it? Yes. This channel is disposed of all of that. It has it all. And I encourage it all the time. I live by that. Y'all have seen where I've made mistakes and I leave them in the video. I make mistakes and I share the mistakes with y'all. I'm like, hey, don't do like what I did with such and such. Because I want you to see, because I might not be the only one having that issue. Evaluate what a person suggests to you. Go and do research right after. And if you can't do it immediately after, plan for a time slot at which you can do it. And then based on what you find out, then come and do a self-evaluation. Third step. Okay, with the research that I have now found out, I'm going to use this as an example since we're talking about it right now. With the research I found out about feminine washes and about feminine hygiene and the scented products, now what do I want to do with it? Am I comfortable with this going forward? No. If not, you got some more research to do. Well, what are the alternatives? If you don't feel like doing that. Okay. What are some products that don't have those, that aren't as scented or that aren't as toxic? Then you go with this. You still got to research. You're not getting out of it. Whether you want to go the fragrance-free or more natural or 100% cotton route, or whether you want to stick with the ones with the chemicals or with the chemicals that have less of them or more environmentally friendly, you're going to have to do research no matter which road you choose. And so that's the argument that, I don't want to call it argument. That is the debate. That is the point that I want to make. I don't have to have the last word on it, but I figured I might as well have the discussion because I've gotten that comment so many times across platforms that I'm on. There's even plant-based. If you just don't want to throw away the chemicals altogether. Miss Saint Square, I made a short about it, I think, and a video, or either it was just a video, and I'll put that on the community tab after I'm done. After this live stream is done, I'll put that on the community tab. Plant-based feminine hygiene wash. You really have no excuse at this point. At the Dollar Tree, I'm sorry, at the $1.25 tree. That's what I call them now. We ain't even had to discuss my level of side eyes I feel about that. But yeah. So don't rule. I say all that to say this. Don't rule out washing your lady parts, washing your flower, washing your pocketbook, whatever you want to call sister girl. But you were born with her. You got to take care of her. You can't have her out here telling on herself, and you going out here in this undisclosed temperature amount of heat that you don't know from one day to the next how hot or cold it's going to be. Wash her, please. Wash her, whatever you call her, wash her. Because you got to live with her from the time you're born in this world until the time whenever. Okay? Wash her. That's do your research and wash her anyway. Fragrance-free, plant-based, or you go with the chemicals and figure, okay, well, let's find out what products are not as toxic. You got to make a choice. Or make them your own self, but even if you're making them your own self, guess what you still got to do? You still have to use one of those categories of products until you make your own products. And that's not shade. It's me encouraging you if you want to be the solution rather than the part of the problem. Perspective is everything. But even in the Bible, It says, so a man thinketh, whatever you think, so is he. So if you think there's no better alternative, you think you have to abide by someone forcing or peer pressuring you to be like, oh, just soap and water or just water. No, ma'am. Your menstrual cycle determined that lie detector test was a lie. Geez, hey, I come every month. I come every month. You might want to use soap. And she looking at you. I come every month. Soap is required for me. She's looking at you. Your hormones, your uterus, everything. You know I'm coming in a couple of days. You got to use soap. I require soap. And pads and tampons and wipes and everything. And you got to pack me to take with you for travel. That's all I'm saying about the feminine hygiene stuff. I said a few short weeks ago, I have been saying it on and off that we need to have this discussion, and today we're gonna have the discussion. That is my point of view. Before you go out there talking about, oh well, I'm gonna just let people peer pressure me into, oh, just soap and water only. You use soap, you just be selective as to what you use, but never just water only. No, ma'am. All these different soaps out here, plant-based, if you're chemical conscious, if you're ingredient conscious, do that. If you're not, that's between you and the good Lord Almighty. Do you have no excuse? Plant-based, there's options out there. The $1.25 tree, plant-based feminine hygiene water, and it was like the kind that foams. I think I'll put it up on the community tab after I'm done here. But I had to say all that and say a whole mouthful about that feminine hygiene thing, because you go out there if you want to. I'm not being funny about it. You go out there if you want to, talking about water only. You go out there if you want to. And I say this with love. You go out there if you want to, sister. I don't want that for you. Because nowadays, you're behind wind up on either one of three places: World Star Hip Hop, YouTube, or TikTok, or Instagram. One of four options. You don't want that, and it's gonna be in a bad way. And they may not ever capture your face, but they're gonna be in the comments ripping you to shreds, and I don't want that. This is why I lovingly fuss for the people who have this type of argument of water only. Okay. You could do scented. There's a way you could do it. There's also another option of Norforms. Those are feminine deodorant suppositories. That's the OG brand that I grew up with as a teenager. That was introduced to me by family. That helps deodorize directly after your menstrual cycle. You could do it a little bit before. But don't totally rule out the scented products. That means you leave it up to yourself to do the research. If you feel so strongly against it, I heavily encourage you, sister, to do the research and then determine which option, because there's alternatives out there. It's not like maybe a good 10 or more years ago where those options weren't out there and the dangers were still afloat. Although the dangers are still afloat now, 10 plus some odd years later, now in 2024, you have more options than you did back then. That's all I'm saying to you, sister. That's all. And this is not coming from a place of judgment, because if you don't know any better, you won't what? Do any better. That's all. I would say I rest my case, but that's what I got to say about it. About that portion of things. Still smells the same. It just smells a little different. I'm glad I kept this. If I go and smell the current one that's been rebranded, it has purple and white now. Totally different design. They don't smell like what this used to smell like. This is the OG now versus what it smells like now. That's all I got to say about the feminine hygiene thing. Do your research. Explore your options. If you don't feel like doing that, I don't feel like you have a place, a dog, metaphorically, in this fight. Because you can't just come with water only. You can't just do a little bit of soap and water. This is something you is in a enclosed area. for extended periods of time. Sleeping, I don't care if you sleep in pajamas, it's still in an enclosed area. You sitting down to work at home, or you getting up and going to get in your car, and the car is still enclosed in pants and clothes and dresses and cute skirts, suit sets, short sets, rompers, jumpsuits. Something closed in like that needs a little bit more extra care than, oh, I'm gonna just throw water at you. That's all. And if you notice, I'm not raising my voice, I'm not yelling, and I'm not cussing. We stand at this volume right here because why do I need to do all that to express exactly how I feel about the matter? You don't need to do that. Hear me out. It's going up on the channel. Hear me out and hear me well. That water only debate, argument, whatever you would like to call it, that's not going to fly. Not in this heat. You better use this current example. I would still say the same thing when it comes wintertime. You still need to use soap. Just choose your alternative. That's all. That's all. I'm gonna leave it alone. Leave it alone. I'm trying to leave it alone. Now, speaking of hair removers, because we got to talk about raising your hand if you're sure that you don't have no hair underneath your arms. Mine is starting to come back, but I've recently done my maintenance and stuff. I had spoke about that on the live stream. Nair is really good. Since it's coming up to summer, and for those of y'all in May, it's already summer. Summer has arrived. Good tip I'd like to, once a week. As soon as you see them hairs coming back, whether you're used to your particular armpit hair growth, and even down in your lady parts are especially they're either fast growth, medium growth, or it's completely slow growth. Get in the habit of checking underneath your arms or wherever you apply this. This is not only for underarms, but it's for bikini arms and underarms. I don't tend to mess with arms. They tend to look smooth. You put on lotion, baby oil, perfume oil. That'll work. Always get something that is sensitive skin formulated, as far as Nair and as far as Veet. V as in Victor, EE as in elephant, T as in Thomas. Because even if your skin can take a licking, keep on kicking, you've not had any allergic reactions. Because they reformulate products so much, I would encourage you to still buy the sensitive skin formula anyway. And always patch test. Because the moment this branding stops looking like this, and they, oh, well, let's rebrand it. And then you go in the store and it's the same thing, but it ain't got the same label. Reformulation has allegedly, more than likely, 9 times out of 10 taken place. And you need to patch test if you're going to continue buying it. If you've been used to buying it before they change the rebranding. Because they might do it this year. They might do it in a couple months. They might do it at the top of the year. But they're going to do it. They do it on a regular basis. That's why you'll have a bottle of Victoria Don't Tell Nobody secret. Them bottles never used to be round and circular like they are now. They used to be oval shaped. I had showed that in a video about me finding an Amber Romance dupe because it just didn't smell the same. It smelled very watered down. It had almost no lasting power at all. And I was a bit more comfortable using the body lotions and the shower gel as opposed to, you see what I'm saying? The fragrance mist. I wanted all the perfume, but they only had Eau de Toilette a couple years back and a one fluid. It was so limited, the options. This is why people start looking for dupes. At least part of the reason why. Get in the habit of patch testing everything. Not just hair removal products. Keep those arms looking smooth. Keep them underarms looking smooth. You know, wherever you have unwanted hair that is additionally, if it's not your just your armpits, if it's not just your lady parts, please get rid of much hair as you can. And whatever this doesn't pull out of the hair follicle, tweeze, wax, learn to wax, or find yourself a esthetician that I believe they do that. Wax. Much if you could stand it and do that. Or laser hair removal, which you have to save a couple coins, put a couple coins aside. Now I can't personally suggest it. I've never tried it. I've always considered it. But you have options. You see how many options you have with hair remover, cream, shaving, maybe eyebrows, the razors, dermaplaning, waxing, laser hair remover, removal, going to the salon. You got options. Some are painless, some are painful, more painful than others. And this still got the seal on it. Ain't ready for it yet. Still working on one, I think. Megan Too Tough. Hi, hola, como estás? Bonjour. Hopefully everything going okay. We discussing, it says 2000 in front of it, but we basically going over shower routine tips, and I just got through with the feminine hygiene argument about water only, or soap and water. That is awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Megan. Blessed and highly favored. We got to find ourselves another product. Grace of God, I have went in about that. I went in about the film, because I needed to. I'm gonna be back. Somebody needed to say it. One thing I want to suggest, I have since thrown it away. I'm back. Not the bar soap yet. I'm about to talk about is that if you've been neglecting your lips, I'm guilty of it. Lip scrub. If you've not been doing it, lip scrub. I almost want to get the one that I had was Milani's Rose Sugar Scrub. It had literal real sugar in it. You got to be careful because you wind up eating something you ain't got no business eating. You got to go see doc. And you got to explain to him or her, hey, what's going on? What did you ingest? Lip scrub. I'm sorry, could you pronounce your words? Could you project? I said lip scrub. You don't want to have that discussion with your doctor. Don't eat your lip scrub. I don't care if real sugar is in it. Scrub your lips. Use a damp washcloth, damp plush one. Take it off, put on your lip gloss. It's going to wear better. Matte lipstick, it's going to wear better. It's less likely to peel because when it's peeling, you're not just peeling off the lipstick if you don't do a good job or you don't scrub your lips regularly with a lip scrub. You're peeling off the skin there that's been sitting there. That's all I'm saying to you. Speaking of that, May Decker, hello, how are you? Hope all is well. Welcome. I almost said welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the live. Sensitive skin. This is an example of what you could use. I know I'm falling back into the feminine hygiene. You could use this, since I still suggest patch testing it in your inner wrist area. Also a very delicate area. And I think that's why they suggest it. Not a medical professional, not a dermatologist, but I definitely suggest the same. Dove sensitive skin. If you're the biggest advocate against Summer's Eve or against feminine washes that are scented or just scented and unscented combined in general, sensitive skin. Now I've heard of baby Dove. I can't suggest that because my rule here on the channel is if I've not yet tried it, it wouldn't be fair for me to suggest it to y'all. I am not trying to get in trouble with y'all for that. I got to try it first. Sensitive skin. I also would suggest Dove's Deep Moisture. Now this is stuff I can suggest. Dove Deep Moisture. That right there. And you'll know if I'm on the sensitive skin club. If you watch enough videos on my channel, you'll figure out which team I'm on. Sensitive, whether sensitive skin or not. Dove Deep Moisture is good if you're going down there, because it's the most mildly scented, but it's created to moisture. So it's like you shouldn't be dry or agitated, but still do a patch test with that as well. The Dove Deep Moisture body wash, or you can go for the bar soap, because I believe it comes in bar soap. Dove sensitive skin, you can use that for down below, for your flower, for your pocketbook. You can do that. Yes, mom uses Dove. Dove is an OG. I know of a celebrity family now. I don't fangirl or nothing like that, but I know of a celebrity family. I don't personally know them, but I heard them say what their favorite soap is amongst all of the sisters is Dove that they use on their face. That's all they use. That's all they say that they use. And Dove is safe to put on the face. I finally had a chance to try Dove soap on my face, and it was beginning to like clear up stuff that was like, oh wow, what is in this soap? So that's a delicate area, your face, just like your lady parts are. Get the sensitive skin. Or the Dove original one is also good. Also very good. Mildly scented, you could still smell it. So technically this still isn't all the way 100% fragrance free, but they've nearly extracted 99.9999999% of fragrance out of it. So you should be safe. Let's see what else we could find. I shall be back real soon. I shall be back real soon. I'm gonna keep campaigning for this scent to come back. And I keep hearing people, keep seeing people throwing shade, and that don't really do nothing for me. It don't bother me, cause I'm gonna keep campaigning. I made it up in my mind. So this is a 2-for-1 shower routine too. But first, Midnight Amber Glow, Bath and Body Works. Since I know y'all listen, this is one of my favorite scents to answer your question. I don't really have a favorite flavor. My category is gourmand. Cookies, pie, cobbler, tarts, cake. Yeah. Bath and Body Works, since I know you're listening, bring back Midnight Amber Glow for one of your sales, and you know what I'm talking about. It does not hurt for me to ask. I'm going to campaign. I am not bothered by people saying it's not my cup of tea. That's cool. That's why they got 11 other scents. This happens to be one of my favorites. Please bring this back. Don't discontinue it no more when you do. Bring it back. That's all. Now, this is a creamy body scrub, and I like what Bath and Body Works has done with their scrubs. Suggestion number 2. Put this in a tub. Tree Hut size. Put this in the tub, please. It don't hurt to ask that. It don't hurt to make the request. Because I mentioned about bringing mahogany teak wood into the men's collection. And then roughly about 2 years later, they brought it back. They either brought it back or they just, okay, well, let's make mahogany teak wood. Because it smelled like a good smelling grown man, freshly showered, ready to go to work. That's how mahogany teak wood, the candle smell. So I'm like, why would you not put this in the men's collection? Why would you not make this a cologne for the men? It smells good. That good. So I know they're listening. They always, I never understand why they discontinue all the good scents, or either they keep the good scents and they alter them so they don't last long. I have an idea why they do it allegedly, and I understand y'all trying to get y'all coins and everybody trying to eat. Do it make it right though? I'm gonna let you decide that. The rhetorical question. Does it make it right that every time you rebrand and we have a brand new look and a design, it does not perform, it does not give what it was supposed to give, it does not give what it gave last year and the previous year? That's all. I got questions. We're allowed to ask the questions as consumers. Bath and Body Works scrub or Tree Hut? Me tapping the bottle with my answer, I was just thinking. Tree Hut, you can always alter how much you put on. From a big, large guapage, a big, large, generous amount. And then adjust your pressure as you apply it. Bath and Body Works, it isn't abrasive as much as Tree Hut out the gate. So no matter how much pressure you apply, you still gonna get the same thing. So Tree Hut, Team Tree Hut. Michaela Baird. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Forgive me if I didn't. Hello, Michaela. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bonjour. Hope you are doing well. We giving out shower routine tips, and I need to plug this thing up in charge before this live stream ends abruptly. I finally began to understand, after using so many brands of body scrub, why some aren't as abrasive as others. It's all about the pressure and the impact that you apply. So even if it's something like Dove body polish, now it's called body scrub, and we need to, for research purposes, we need to figure out if the reason why they switched it to body scrub, it had to have heard or seen one or several of my videos. And they was listening. I know they listen. Let's just change it to body scrub and not change the formula. That's assumptions. I want to get into, for research purposes, I've yet to buy a jar of their new stuff. Now they call it body scrub. And I made a whole video about it. I said, hey, look, in case you wondering, don't get these two confused. The body polish was not as abrasive. Now they're calling it body scrub. So does that mean you changed it and made it thicker to go head to head with your competitor Tree Hut? Or is it the same and you just changed the name for by a certain motivation of videos, which probably, I don't know, they might have seen mine, but I know they listen. I know these brands listen. They okay, let's just call it body scrub. Okay, I hope you're not. I hope the only change to that was it you. I'm really hoping that the only change to Dove now going around rebranding everything as body scrub, I hope that wasn't the only change. I hope they actually made it more abrasive. Really, truthfully, respectfully, of course. I don't get the body polish scrub. Before you shave, you use body scrub. Yes. And I suggest using before and after. Before to prep it. and then after to catch anything else that the shaving didn't catch. That's just me personally. So Dove still has, I seen a couple months ago, Dove, that was actually before this year came in. I saw, oh well, it's body scrub now. And it was right next to a stack of them that said body polish. So there still might be some Dove body polish circulating around, because they're probably trying to sell all those out and get rid of those. And then going forward, what they're producing now, it says scrub on the tub. Do your research, reach in that jar, buy one. If they wind up producing travel sizes, buy those before you commit to the full tub. That's a suggestion. And then determine, do a patch test. And if you find out, you find out that this feels the same as when they called it body polish, the only thing that changed was not the formula, but the word of what they called it. Yeah, you're welcome, Megan. Because I've done reviews on the one I noticed on was the brown sugar and coconut butter. That's my little song for it. And it was barely there. Welcome to the Brave family, Megan. Appreciate you. You're going to find a whole lot of value in a whole lot of it, in a whole lot of the playlists I've done the work for you. So I'll link you to that one, the Bodycare hygiene tips. I'll link it at the end of this one once this live stream ends. Don't know when that will be, but we spending some time together. You're welcome. You're welcome. This is why I lovingly fuss so much about doing research, and whatever I find that I'm allowed to talk about, I share it with y'all. Because there's someone out there uninformed. There's someone out there uninformed. Because I've tried the body polish and did a review on the brown sugar and coconut butter one when it was a polish. And then how I found out they just, oh, well, you just changed the name to scrub. Now I'm wondering, is it an actual scrub, or did you just change the name and then keep everything else the same? I mean, a consumer has to wonder. Because if you say it's a scrub, now I'm expecting Tree Hut's quality. You know, I'm a little, bourgeois now. I've gotten used to the good stuff. And so when you get used to the good stuff, that almost becomes your grading system, unfairly, of course. That almost becomes your grading system for how you compare other products. And I know the Bible says, as far as comparison, that it is the thief of joy. So I try to be fair. None of my reviews are sponsored. I try to be fair with even grading them, with even telling you about them, with even being as descriptive as I'm allowed to be descriptive. When I say allowed, what the Lord allows me to describe to you all and capture, because I wanted to feel like me and you went to the store, me and you bought the product, and then I hand the jar to you, and okay, you close and lock the bathroom door, and you tell me how this stuff feels through your hands and stuff, and then you come out all dressed and, okay, well, did you really like it? Is it smelling good all the time? Let's watch a movie. And then if I keep catching wafts of your perfume or the scrub, then I know it lasts a long time. Like, I tried my best to give you that, like, okay, we went to the store together, and let me help you pick out something brand new and just do all that. Also, do you think it's bad if you wear mascara every day? Like, do you think it could damage your eyelashes? I'm glad you asked that. Hold on. This is oh, I ain't finished that bottle of water. Let's put it here. We'll finish that next. Right now, we're gonna finish the one with the most in it. We getting into it today. I am a girl that loves. I'm a mascara girl. I definitely don't wear it as often as I used to. In fact, I can't tell you the last time I put mascara on. In fact, I tossed it out because it had went way past the expiration date. So we're talking about your eyes, and that's also another very delicate area, including the skin around it. If you wear mascara every day, this is a very what do they call it? when you ask a question and it's not just a direct answer, very twofold, threefold type of question, at least from my perspective. The short answer is no. Here's the two and threefold part of the answer. No, it's not bad to wear mascara every day if one, it is waterproof, two, hyperallergenic, three, if you don't have an eye allergy, four, if you don't mind and if you are okay with getting into the routine, and if you're currently within the routine of using makeup remover, removing it regularly before you go to bed. The occasional falling asleep with makeup on, which I've done before, you too tired, that's okay. That's to be expected. That's happened to all us ladies that wear makeup, whether we skilled at it or not. That happens. You be tired and have a long day. It's okay. You fell asleep maybe one or two times, but don't make that a habit. And as far as damaging your eyelashes, I would say if you don't take care to wash your face before you go to bed, every time that you wear it, keyword, every time you wear it, that could potentially damage your eyelashes. Something else, since we're speaking of eyelash, I am not an eyelash strip girl. I had bought a set of magnetic lashes and hadn't used them, and I said, let's declutter and somebody else can use them. I don't know who that person is, but they got themselves some magnetic eyelashes and the magnetic liner to go with it. I almost fell for it. I am, because I know what my eyelashes do with lashes and with mascara. Now, some mascaras, if they still make them, I believe they discontinued one of them. I don't like when they do that. But I'm finna suggest it because there's places like eBay, there's places like Macari, places like Amazon, there's places like Google search, and you hit the search for what you want, boop, hit the shopping tab and scroll down in your search results where you could still possibly find it. There's some good mascaras to wear if your eyelashes are sensitive, tend to itch a whole lot. CoverGirl, the OG. I think they've been out since the 1970s. Lord, what is it called? Great Lash. It's the clear one. So you can just use a search term like CoverGirl clear mascara and then go from there. And hit the shopping tab in Google. And so if it come up eBay, Macari, whatever, just go from there. Make sure you heavily, because I used to sell stuff online, beauty items and stuff. Make sure you heavily read that description with such meticulously, with all that. So you need to know if it comes with tags, if it comes sealed, especially beauty products. That's a hygiene concern. Make sure you do that. Yes, that was my favorite. That was my favorite. The clear one. I think it's called, well, Great Lash is the next one I'm going to represent. It's not called Great Lash for CoverGirl. It's called something else. The second brand, I think they still make it. They make it in black. They make it in black, brown, and they make it in brown. From Maybelline, the infamous pink and black, or the infamous pink and green and black one. Maybelline, I think it's called Great Lash. I like the clear one. I have tried. Years ago, they used to get into sending out makeup companies. Now, they still do it. I just don't know how often. Makeup companies used to send out requests of, oh, do you want a sample of it? Such and such, whatever. Great Lash by Maybelline, that infamous pink and green bottle, and that pink and black one, and the pink, green, and black one. That one. Top tier. Whether it's the brown or brown black or the brown or the clear. That's another good one. And you talking to someone that has, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan because them lashes, putting on them lash strips make me itch looking at them. So I said, let alone putting them on, no thank you. I got rid of the magnetic lashes in a, bye, somebody else can have them. And then there is, I feel like there's a third one. Those are only two I can think of, Maybelline and CoverGirl. The CoverGirl, the first CoverGirl one, that is definitely discontinued. I don't be liking it. Liking that CoverGirls had some really nice stuff. They just be having a whole lot of limited edition. I'm talking back when I was a teenager. Oh, they had some stuff y'all probably never heard of before. In the magazine inserts, I know they still do them. I know they do. Maybelline Great Lash, that infamous pink and green, pink and black, that one. That stark pink tube, pink and green. They still produce it. So much so that I've seen it in places like Family Dollar, so you ain't got to spend an arm and a leg. I've seen it in the Dollar Tree, you ain't got to spend an arm and a leg. The CoverGirl one, you got to dig a little bit harder for that. They also have sites where they primarily sell nothing but vintage makeup that is unopened and still in the seal. Because you have people that will buy in bulk, or maybe they're resellers, and they still have that stuff on hand. It's so long as you don't open it, the expiration date don't start. That's how it works with beauty products, as far as I know. That's why you turn on the back of the bottle and you'll see a little canister that says 24M. So that means 24 months after you open it, it expires. 6M is very common, 6 months expiration dates. You may see 12-month expiration dates on eye makeup because that's your eyes and you don't want to play with that. You need your eyes to see, to function, and to do everything. So that's primarily why they keep them expiration dates very short on those. Does that mean you're going to spend a whole lot of more money? Yeah. But I would suggest to combat what you're having to throw out after 6 months, because it's an eye makeup product. You don't want to play with your eyes. So it's like you're going to have to get used to, or buy in bulk to offset everything. Buy 3 mascaras, so by the time you get to 6 months mark, the expiration date with those things start right after you open it, not when you buy it. When you buy it, you're going to be going through a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of product, and it's going to be wasteful. Buy 3. Go through the one. Try to go through the one before the 6 month mark. If it says 6 months, 12 months, or whatever. And then if you don't make it, it's not a loss. You still got those 2 backup tubes. You see how that works? If not, rewind it back. This is going up on the channel. That's how that works. Yeah. I say that about the makeup just like I do about the Bodycare product. They have discontinued the a lot of products. Like, why did y'all do, why? What no reason to do that? Wasn't no reason to do that at all. Why? And if you learn the reasons, it's like, no. All right, last question, I promise. All right, Megan. I want to try cluster lashes, but I've never used false lashes before, so I'm not sure how it would turn out. My question, twofold answer, would be to you. Have you ever tried magnetic lashes? Have you ever tried, do you know how to put on lashes? That's my first question to you. If not, I believe the cluster ones are I literally was in a self-care group where they was talking about that too. She said, is this a cluster? And she took a picture of the individual lash, that, the singular one that fans out in a triangular shape. Okay, you know how to put on lashes. Okay, awesome. I don't know if they have them, but I would suggest going the magnetic lashes route, even if you know how to put on lashes, because cluster is more individual, and you just want to see how you fare with that magnetic liner and that magnetic strip of lash. I don't think they make those in cluster, so I would, here's how I would do it, and this comes from a person who considered put on lashes, and I was almost there with the magnetic lash kit and the liner with the magnetic molecules in it or whatever. I would suggest go to Google, do heavy research on, and you can do this one time, even though you know how to put on lashes. Do this one time. Go to the salon, but do research of the best, read those reviews, the best lash tech that does cluster lashes, because there's some that specialize in it. Just like we have braiders and hairstylists that specialize in, well, I saw this one girl on Instagram years ago. She did what's called highlight braids. The braids are different sizes, and the braids that are smaller than the ones that are bigger acts as the highlight in completely different contrast of color in comparison to the bigger ones. Just like with braiders, there's specialized lash technicians, and specifically tailor your search to those that do cluster lashes, individual lashes in your area. I'm not sure where you are. You don't owe me an explanation. You don't have to tell me. It's not a requirement, but I would do it that way. And it's coming from a person that I almost got the lashes. I almost got into lashes. I almost got into the magnetic ones. Do research on the best place. Go one time, and what you want to do, you want to make sure you're reading those reviews and select the best one. Go to the salon one time for a person that specifically specializes in cluster and individual lashes. Ask for pictures. A lot of them should have that in their portfolio of their clients, even if they're hiding their face. And then go from there. Go to the salon one time and then kind of take notes as much as you can off of their application method. Even ask them questions. Any lash tech will tell you, and this again, this comes from a person I've never done had my lashes done, but it's just like I've been in the cosmetology side of things before. I've been a licensed hair braider, so, and all the other stuff I've self-taught. Any good cosmetologist is going to want you to be well informed about the process, whether they're doing of whatever they're doing to your hair, shampooing, cutting, coloring, bleaching your hair. And a real good one is not going to want you to damage your hair, your lashes, your skin, waxing. They're not going to want you to harm yourself for the sake of being aesthetically pleasing or for your personal goal of something that you want it to look like, because you don't want to wait. A real good one will think about the health of your hair, the health of your skin, the health of your lashes, and so forth. So I would suggest going that way about that. So hope that helps. If you got any questions for me, then I can sure elaborate, because we spend some time together. I don't know how long we're going to be on here. So far, to quickly recap, it's not the end, but we recapped about feminine hygiene, the thing about, oh, just do water only on your lady parts. We have talked about lashes. You're welcome, Miss Megan. You are more than welcome. We've talked about makeup expiration dates. We have talked about mascara every day, and that 2 and 3 fold answer to that. We've talked about expiration dates for products. We've talked about lashes and what good cosmetologists look like, because they're going to want the health of whatever service they're performing for you. They're going to want the good health. Good hair, good bleacher. They're not going to want to bleach your hair until you walk around looking like alfalfa with your hair stuck up 50-11 ways. A good cosmetologist, a good hairstylist is not going to want to bleach your hair even though you say you want it platinum like Beyonce. And you walk around and she know if you use 40 volume developer and let it stay for 3 hours, you ain't going to have no hair. No good cosmetologist is not going to do that. They're going to make you a little irritated because they're going to tell you the truth, what you need to hear. You'd be like, no, I wouldn't do that if I was you. Now, a lot of people like to be like, oh, well, even my hairstyle should do what she say. Okay. Now, if you insist on her sitting up there and putting this 40 volume developer on your hair, even though she has warned you, still a good cosmetologist is going to tell you, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. I done told you no. Either they're going to refuse you service, which in some states they can. You have to check the laws for where you're at. Or either, if they can't refuse you, they're going to warn you. They got some terms and conditions. That's why they had them sites so there with them terms and conditions and contracts. And it'd be like, I'm not responsible or liable if something should happen to your hair or you lose it. They did warn you. That's not going to hold up in court if you try that. Well, she did. They're going to see that, oh, well, She gave you the terms and conditions. She did tell you if you keep that 40 volume, that's all developer on your hair for 3 hours, it's going to take your hair out, and you didn't listen. You insisted, or whatever the terms are. So that's the mark of a good cosmetologist. They will warn you or either refuse service or refer you to somebody else that can give you what you want, but you can't be mad at the results. That's the way I feel about it. And it's coming from somebody. I'm not a licensed cosmetologist, but I was licensed to braid hair and still do my own. That's all. I'm only telling this to y'all because I love y'all with every subject. Yeah, I don't want y'all to make the same mistakes or the mistakes of other people that I've heard about. That's all. Since we're speaking about hair, I have to say this for the natural girlies. No matter what your hair type is, deep conditioner is your best friend. And it's coming from somebody not a licensed cosmetologist. Whether your hair is low porosity, meaning it doesn't hold product, it doesn't absorb well, which could cause an issue with you trying to deep condition or condition your hair in any way. If you have a regular hairstylist, talk to them about your options. If I would still suggest the same, if your hair is high porosity, it absorbs plenty of product. If you're wearing protective styles, keep it hydrated. Good hair growth oil is going to help you. It's nothing like having a head full of hair, but you got to take care of it, and that's how you keep that head full of hair. You ever see have you ever seen a whole head of hair on a woman, natural hair, and it's just pow, but she tucks it away and protects it underneath wigs, underneath hair extension, underneath locks, faux locks, braids, or a combination of both, or twist, or crochet, or a sew-in. Whatever, take care of your crown. I don't just say that because summer is approaching. And baby, that itching scalp, I got to link y'all to that video, and I got to I ain't gonna say that. I got some homework to do. That's what I will say. I will put up the video that is up that I have from a few years back, where I give y'all the anti-itch remedy that was passed on to me, so that way you could wear your protective styles longer and keep your scalp moisturized. But it's for those with high porosity natural hair, meaning it holds product well. The product doesn't go on your hair, on the hair shaft, and then fall off, and it doesn't. Conditioner is meant to repair the hair shaft. Take care of your crown underneath. It's going to pay you some dividends that are priceless. That's what I can't say. And this coming from somebody not a licensed cosmetologist, but I've been doing my hair since I was a teenager. Long time. And have seen and have learned a whole lot of stuff, and still learning a whole lot of stuff. And still seeing a whole lot of crazy stuff. Tay and Ave, or Ave. Forgive me if I'm butchering y'all name. I like to pronounce people's names correctly. How are you? Hola, como estás? Bonjour. Hope everything is going well. We're discussing shower routine tips, and we done got into traditional beauty tips too. So we went over 5 feminine hygiene first. Then we went over should you wear mascara every day? Shout out to Megan. Too tough. Sounds like too fast, too furious. I'm too fast for y'all. See, I don't listen to that music no more. And we just went over protecting your crown of hair, keeping it moisturized, deep conditioning this summer. Trying cluster lashes. That was just before we talked about the deep conditioning of hair. And again, I'm not a licensed professional, not a licensed cosmetologist. Just been doing my hair a long time. Been doing a whole lot of self-taught stuff a long time. And not a dermatologist, but I've just been learning a whole lot of stuff for a long time. Still learning. We gotta figure out what else. Let's put away our unopened Nair. We talked about that too. Nair and sensitive skin and how you should do patch test. Talk about Bath and Body Works discontinuing products, and so I'm still campaigning for them to bring Midnight Amber Gold Black before a certain sale come back this year twice. That's all. One is closer than the other as of today. I'm just saying. That's it. That's all. Let's see what else we can find and get into. I'm gonna be back. I said I don't know how long we're finna be on, but we're finna talk. We're finna chat. And I also suggested Dove Sensitive Skin Bar for your feminine hygiene parts, if you can still hear me. I believe it was, what was it, yesterday? We discussed about layering untraditional gourmand scents with tropical summery ones. How you can still pull it off. Okay. Ooh. Okay, wait a minute. Let's close. I need to fold bars. Go ahead and plug this up. I should have plugged it up yesterday. And I talked about Yardley bars of soap, or just bars of soap in general, about storage yesterday. Should I say this on here or just save it for a separate conversation? I can include it. It's all right. If you're wondering what scents to try this summer, here are some staples that are tried and true. I'm gonna say almost anything coconut. I can't recommend this because you see it's still in the packaging unsealed, but I'm using this to represent the category of coconut. Body washes I could recommend. Soft soaps. They got it in a large pump bottle, and in the traditional squeeze tube. Soft soaps coconut butter scrub. It is more of a body wash with lightly sprinkled scrub particles than it is a scrub like Tree Hut. If you're looking for if you're looking for a scrub like Tree Hut, you won't find that. It'll give you that light, barely there exfoliation, but that's about it. You're gonna get 90% body wash and maybe 10% scrub particles. See what I did there? Okay. Coconut is a tried and true one. Pineapple, papaya. If you get a mixture of both, that's gonna pack a punch. Mango. Soft soap also has a mango one. I'm gonna go ahead and suggest that, even though I haven't tried that soft soap mango body wash keyword in a while, but I have tried it. It's just been a couple of years, which means they have since changed the formula, and I notice it looks different. That stark burgundy, gorgeous mango and pomegranate scents. Those are staple scents. Basically, the fruits that are in season for summer, aim for those to smell like, if you want to do it for this summer. And the good thing about fruity scents is, as it paves off to the fall season, you could still pull those off. You could take pineapple and do it with vanilla. and something ambery, you could still pull it off. You're just going to have to rely heavily on more on those gourmand scents, a gourmand fruity scent and florals to pull it off. But if you look for something for summer, the same fruits that's in season in them grocery stores or it's in season that you like to eat and the juices you like to drink, aim for those. Look for things with those type of notes in them. Coconut is one, pomegranate, papaya, mango. I want to venture to say pear. I don't think I've seen too many things with pear notes. Pear is a very interesting and intriguing and delicious fruit. It makes me want one right about now, freshly sliced in the syrup. I know I ain't got no business with it, but I want it for a snack. That's the best way to go if you're craving something sweet. Anywho, we still got to talk about what to eat to smell good. Fruits is the number one thing on the list. Definitely is. Fruits. Vegetables. Vegetables might not sound like it may make you smell good, but you combine it with fruits. If you're a person that likes to juice things, I would heavily suggest it. Cranberry juice as a woman is your best friend. Now, I seen a meme, and it was funny, because it's true, about, I think it's the Ocean Spray brand, and forgive me if I get this wrong. I believe it was Ocean Spray. I might be wrong, so I'm putting out this disclaimer before I say it. The meme said, Ocean Spray have a baby with anybody. Because it's cranberry pomegranate. It's cranberry elderberry. I done tried that one. It's cranberry pineapple. It's cranberry papaya. Cranberry peaches. Cranberry pear. Cranberry with another fruit all the time. Cranberry cherry. I think that one tastes really good. But it would have that tinging. It would be really tart and tangy. And you know how you drink something and it go here? That little tingling sensation. Feel really uncomfortable. Like it tastes good, but it's like it's too sharp of a taste, for lack of a better word. And I feel like cranberry and cherry would kind of clash unless you would have to put in something like honey, a type of natural sweetener that just, because they both taste a little sharp, a little tart, a little bitter. I'm trying to find the words. The cranberry juice is going to be your best friend as a woman. It's going to make you smell great down there and in general. It coupled with eating your natural fruits. So that don't mean fruit roll-ups. That don't mean nothing processed. Yeah. And drink plenty of H2O. I'm going to campaign with this too. Drink plenty of H2O. I can't tell you how many bottles I went through today. I just been finishing up bottles. Don't be like me finishing half bottles. Finish your bottle from start to finish. I knew there was one more thing we needed to talk about and discuss. And see, I've been holding this off. I don't think I'm going to spend too much time on it, because now I'm like, we did kind of talk about it a little bit. Just wasn't a dedicated video. When you're shopping for Dove, this is not the traditional body wash. If you notice, the side profile, there's the reason why I'm showing it to you like this. Not as thick as the traditional one. Not as tall in height as the traditional one. What is the traditional? The United States one. This says, and I quote, shower gel. Still shea butter and vanilla. It's just not shea butter and warm vanilla. Shower gel is very different in texture, tone, and in performance, rather than the traditional United States ones. That's thicker, taller bottle of this. I'm going to show it to you. There we go. There we go. It's running for its life. I got to put it back in the box. Yep. Yep. Put it back in the bottle before it get all on my pants. All. Nope. Nope. Only a little bit. Thank you, Jesus. I thought it was going to go everywhere. As you can see, that formula is not the United States one, not the thick, luscious, creamy Dove. If you're used to that and you buy it regularly. The shower gel is referred to the international version. And it also says in a different language, 0% sulfate, SLES. The packaging, the font is different. You have to pay. I heavily encourage y'all to pay attention to things like that. I bought this stuff, basically bought this thinking I was restocking the original. And then everybody in the comments was saying it was fake. And then one of my one of the viewers here a while ago lovingly said, hey, it's not fake, that's the international version. See, you learn something new every day. And I was today years old on that day I learned. I said, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry, I called it fakey. See what happens when you follow peer pressure and you don't go do the research yourself. I hadn't yet done the research except for I had kept seeing where people kept calling it fake. I'm like, well, is there anybody advocating for this and not saying it's fake? They popped up in my comments. Very thankful for you. I don't know your username, but I'm very thankful for you to this day. International version. Shower gels, you're going to get a different level of lather rather than the traditional taller and thicker bottle of Dove in your drugstores and Walmarts and Targets. Thicker, it's going to be opaque, and it's not going to run like that, like y'all just saw it running. It's not going to be running for its life. And down the shower drain and wasting product. It's going to be thick, luscious, and creamy. Like, you ever notice Dove's body washes? The United States version, now I have to say it and differentiate everything. Their body washes in the USA they come out thick, luscious, and creamy. They apply on like a moisturized lotion, even though it's a soap. You ever notice that? The formula we all love, for those that love it. Yeah. So you just thought I'd bring that to y'all attention again. It has been fun. So just to recap, we have spoken about feminine hygiene and the feminine hygiene wash and the feminine hygiene product debate about washing your lady parts, and how they tried to bring the argument and the debate and the point of view about use water only or water and plain soap. I'm more in favor of the plain soap if you're going to go totally in opposition to feminine wash at all, if I had to choose. We also discussed about wearing mascara every day and should you. We also discussed trying cluster lashes and the method to go about it. This video is going up. It's got to do the thumbnail or whatever. And we also discussed about staple scents in summer that you can always get away with wearing, and then how you could transition wearing summer scents into the fall by combining it with a gourmand every time. Like, what are gourmands? Vanilla, bakery, cookie pie, cinnamon, honey even is considered, in my opinion, a gourmand note. We have discussed taking care of your crown, focusing on deep conditioning underneath protective styles if you're a natural hair girly like myself. What else have we discussed? We've discussed recognizing the effects, recognizing different formulas of body wash, shower gel, international versus Dove, thick, luscious, and creamy body wash. We have discussed using sensitive skin care products like Sensitive Dove, the bar, or the body wash. I would say the bar. use a bar of soap for down there. And I'll make sure I stress the importance of patch testing products. Even if your skin is not sensitive and it takes a licking and keep on ticking, you still should do it because of reformulation that companies do very often, and they repackage things very often. Hello, Sunny. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bonjour. Hope everything's going well. And we have discussed drinking plenty of water. We have discussed quite a bit of things in this video. But if you would like to see more, I'm going to link you to that playlist as promised. And I got some homework of videos to put on the community tab about keeping your scalp moisturized and a few others. Until next time, and thank you, Suddy. Appreciate you. Pretty sure yours is nice as well. But thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you. It's been a joy.